This is Ken Hanson. He rides for Optum, powered by Kelly Benefit Strategy. He's joining us today, and we're here to talk to him about the National Criterium Championship that he just won in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So tell me about that race, Ken. Tell me how that race went down. Sure looked like in the pictures that Optum dominated all day.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely agree with that statement that, Optum dominated the race. We walked into the national championships with a game plan. It looked like it was going to come down to a sprint finish, and midway through the race, that's pretty much what it looked like. There wasn't any significant breakaways that were moving, and so our game plan was to take the front with 10 laps to go and do the traditional lead out train the whole way. And I really owe the victory to the guys. I mean, they all really stepped up and did their job and then some. And they took the front from 10 to go, and we held it. And then they did the perfect lead out, making it really fast in the last two laps. And I'm just really happy I was able to seal the deal and win the jersey for them.
Well, let's talk about that jersey for a minute. It's obviously America is a criterium country, and you're going to get to represent that jersey. How big is that jersey to wear that jersey all over the United States?
Oh, it's huge. Definitely criteriums are the predominant style of racing in the U.S. and it's definitely American style, and it's what's big here. And it's a privilege and an honor to have to be able to wear the jersey for a year and to showcase it and get to do all the big races all over the country in it. And I'm just really excited and happy that I get this opportunity.
Well, what makes you different? Because I've watched you in a lot of races, and you win all the time. And we're talking, you sometimes win by a big margin, sometimes you win by a hair. But what is that in you that lets you keep winning at this level?
That's a good question. I love the sport, and I've always been an incredibly competitive athlete. Just hard on myself, and it's something that at least the last few years I've gotten a little bit more confidence in being kind of molded into a bunch sprinter, and having that confidence to really kind of go after it. And so I think those are some of the things I think that I've had kind of always within me. But I mean, it takes an incredible amount of work ethic, and this year the last few years it's been a couple hard good winters of training, good race schedules with teams and getting a lot of racing in, and I had a really good winter with training, and Optum's giving me an incredibly great race schedule. So I've had a lot of good races to kind of fine tune my sprinting, and then also above that I've got a great group of guys around me that they have confidence in me on working for me when it comes down to a sprint, and then in return that gives me extra motivation to really give it everything when it's time for me to sprint. So it's really a team sport, and I got an amazing group of guys around me, so it's that certainly helps, and that's been I think the biggest thing this year is having a really strong team. Everyone's really confident, and it's paid off, as you can see.
Well, I'm sure you'll wear that jersey with pride. What's next for Ken Hanson? I mean, that must be one of the big things to check off your list of things to do as a pro cyclist. What's next on your goal sheet?
For the rest of the year, I've got, a couple races like this weekend. We've got Turbo Pro, which starts tomorrow. And hopefully that'll be an opportunity or two to go for a sprint. And then we've got a couple guys that, have a good shot at the overall because it's got a time trial in the stage race. For me personally, I would like to get an opportunity to go race in Europe and get to do some of the big one-day races and kind of do some of the bigger stage races and give a crack at some of the sprints there. And so that's, for me personally, I've always wanted to, kind of push myself to the top level. And, I love racing in the States, and, it's I've got a great situation here, but I'd like to move up to the next step and get a crack at racing at some of the bigger stuff in Europe.
That's awesome. Now, tell me about, are you racing in the Tour of Utah or the Pro Cycling Challenge?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not going to be doing either of them. Kind of looked at the races and had a long discussion with my director, Jonas Carney, and kind of looked at how some of the race stages were going to unfold. And it looked like Tour of Utah was going to have most likely one sprint stage, but it's one of the longer stages, about 130 miles. And really, I wasn't going to have any time to acclimate to get adjusted to the high altitude before the race, because we race here at Tour of Elk Grove and finish Sunday, and then Tuesday Tour of Utah starts. So it's a really tight turnaround. And for me, my build-up coming into Crit Nationals, was a completely different type of training and preparation than what would have been preparing for Tour of Utah. And I didn't want to jeopardize my chances of winning Crit Nationals. I really just wanted to put my focus on, Crit Nationals is a major objective for myself and for the team. And, we have a good shot of winning it. If I can show up in a really good peak condition and sprint well, then I have a good shot of winning it. And so we decided to kind of focus on that, and then, just not send me to either Tour of Utah or Tour of Colorado, because the altitude and most of the stages won't be sprints. And we've got a lot of guys who are a lot better suited for those races. So, it was a tough decision to make, because they're two of the biggest races in the country. But, for myself and for the team, it made the most sense to just focus on Crit Nationals and then Tour of Elk Grove, and then we're going to be over racing in Europe for the whole month of September, doing a bunch of one-day races. So just kind of focus on doing all that and just sticking to the plan of what I can be good at and what's best for the team. So,
yeah, that sounds like a pretty busy schedule as it is, and we look for you to have a very good result at the in Elk Grove. What just the last question here on this jersey? What kind of edge does it bring you, knowing that you're the fastest man in America right now? What kind of edge does that jersey bring you when you do get to throw it on at a national criterium race? What is that feeling going to be like?
I think it's a big addition, and for me, it's just an extra, an extra bit of motivation and kind of commitment to being as good as I can be in every race, and really, really trying to showcase and give the due respect to the jersey that it deserves, of trying to be the best, the best that I can be when I show up to those criteriums. So a little bit's confidence, and a little bit's just having respect for the honor of getting to wear the jersey for a year. So it's I'd say it's definitely both those
Yeah,
factors.
that's big time, man. Well, we really appreciate you joining us on CyclingIllustrated.com. Do you want to add anything else?
Just to thank you guys for having me, and for taking the time to kind of set up these good in-depth interviews, and they're great, and hope you guys grow and can see you at more races. So thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you out there, Ken. Thanks a lot for your time.
All right, thank you.